Hello. I'm going to look through my binoculars now. Huh? Whoa! Is that Nina Williams? Famous violinist? And star of the Death by Degrees calendar? Oh my god! An awkward analog stick-based combat tutorial? Wow! How exotic! Join the voluptuous Nina Williams, Tekken's ultimate assassin, as she steps out of the ring and infiltrates a dangerous terrorist group as an undercover operative in Death by Degrees. Man, what the heck? Some of this MK Mythologies ass menu sound. Very goofy. And equally serious are these super true-to-life looking terrorists. Pink hair to strike terror into the masses. Cause yeah, this is quite the quirky little spin-off. Made in-house by Namco themselves, they forewent, goad and gone any and all regulated Tekken design, even brushing aside a fanciful Force Modian approach, as instead, as hinted at, Death by Degrees uses goddamn analog stick directions for the fighting. As this internal flyer claims, it does make use of Nina's signature Tekken moves, including throws, submission holds, and evil mists, which isn't untrue. It's just how you do them, you know? And how we doing, although, is also that this is ostensibly basically a survival horror game outside of combat, without no tank control, so get ready to... You know, where it's like you heat an amulet in the boiler room so you can slot it in a divot below the aquarium to get a model boat which contains a key that can open up the lid of the piano in the atrium after you spin it twice so the letters align right on the key, so you can be like Orpheus, Morpheus, raps coming out of my orifice, and then an elevator opens from the piano. It's actually really quite clever like that. Eschewing key cards for reconstructing fingerprints from Dude Proof found about the place, and having whole over-the-top puzzle sequences like how I just mentioned. And all of it takes place within a boat and a prison island that slowly unlock and open up as you go.
Our team consists of 2 sneakers and 1 sweeper.
Okay!
It's very clear to me that in making this, Namco was looking at MGS2, what Resi doing, and just the general trends of the time. I mean, peep the overwhelming PS2-ness of this shit. Fucking Manhunt ass, the suffering Andy, MGS3 Dream type beat. And then you straight up get cutaway, kinda gory stealth kills even. And I really like the veneer of PS2 horror that this all brings. Cause, yeah, you're on this swanky, sunny cruise ship, and there's more action explosions, gun bazooka jumping, heli dropping cutscenes than you can shake a Wiimote at. Huh. So that's how that works. But it is a cruise ship in the Bermuda Triangle, and therefore it's mysterious and strange things are happening. Like scheming scientists giving PowerPoint briefings in jail cells and magic robot mechs, electronic interferences, and stylish goons haunting these hollowed halls that provide us with slow, methodical walking gameplay, in which every door opens up a cutscene and any gubbins a text prompt in waiting. A piece of rat meat? I mean, I guess that's what this is. I set it free just a few seconds ago, though. Admiring it having reflections and feeling the beefy sound effects that coincide with every action. Latching the crank, crawling the vent, swimming the sewer bog, or accidentally stepping onto the beds because Nina just does that, I guess. And they do really well with the camera tracking and framing, too. It's a very pretty PS2 game in general, but the cinematic flair that this shit adds to merely walking up some stairs makes it seem as if this intended thing. A highlighted cinematic moment rather than just, well, you know, walking up some stairs. Really makes me want to take it slow. Play out the scene, as it were. Honestly, there's hella flourishes in the art and environmental design in general. On a basic color and lighting level alone, I think it all looks great. The orange boats contrasting with the white ship and the blue sky is such a beautiful vibe. And the beige and brown hues in the softly lit Pius the Tooth-ass bathroom looks fucking money. Or dog, check these puddle reflections. Fucking ray tracing can go and eat your ass out, god damn. And I dig the many outfits Nina gets too, but there's also things like choosing to give the deck of the cruise ship a Greek ruins theme, being that Greek ruins was her stage in Tekken 2. There's also no shortages of industrial steamy pipes at Nightness, repping both her 3 and tag stages. It's all just quite cool to see a sense of Nina-ness worked into its zones. It's a very high-effort, expensive-feeling game that way, and I'd argue that lends a sense of smoothness in its overall pacing and design. Like, for example, there's loads of visual variety between the rooms and floors that not only helps you remember shit more distinctly, which matters for the puzzles, but it also just keeps things feeling fresh. And on top of that, DBG pulls that trick a lot where you see problems need solving a fair bit before getting to their eventual solutions. If to you that sounds like, oh yeah, duh, then you don't even want to know how many Resi-style games do not do that, if ever. But regardless, it makes slowly picking away at the puzzle boxian whole of the game pretty dang satisfying. Certainly with how it has this cool centralized hall structure a la RE Police Station, but bigger with interlocking levels and sub-elevators with walk-round back deck walkways, girders, pipes, and vents that give it a rather labyrinthian exploratory feel, despite actually being a fairly linear experience. It's like, it has the aesthetics of a slower-paced methodical horror game, but the pacing and design of a snappier, don't let the player get lost or overwhelmed or stuck for too long between action moments, Metal Gear or later Resi. Cleverly using locked doors and the prior presented piecing apart of puzzle parts to railroad the player down to where they have to be. It's basically like, I chose to go down this door, as it was the first door I saw, but it was also at that time the only door I could have entered, but it's not like I knew that I was just looking around, you know what I mean? Which I think suits it super well, being that it is technically a action game as well. A kinda terrible one at that. Marketing support. 2 million marketing campaign before and throughout launch. Oh my god, Jesus Christ, I guess that explains the fucking calendar. Varied online advertising and promotions, including banners, interactive messaging, and online viral marketing? There's Nina memes? Interactive, regularly updated website. Okay. Whoa! Track your home's value. Free detailed home equity report. Wow! Thanks, Nina. Yeah. I mean, for what it's worth, I dig the fluidity of the animation work. Reminds me a fair bit of PS3 Genji in that it has this dancing, dashing, and dodging, weaving between bitches style of motion to it. It is just that analog stick combat lacks tactile feel, if you ask me. I don't really get the heft of the impacts or the directness of hitness that I get from pressing a button. So while it is fluid, I'd argue that it's also very floaty and awkward to boot. I mean, let's look at just shooting guns for a bit. You gotta hold down L1 and then guide where you want the bullets to go with the right analog as you stay moving with the left. This would have been fine, honestly, if the camera angle had changed to behind Nina, which the game can do, because as it is, the perspective dictates the relativeness of what a direction is. This goes for your kicks and punches just as much, but not always. In between dodging, dashing, guarding, parrying, directional combos, grabs, escapes, and stances with weapons and shooting with guns, some things are relative to the direction Nina is looking at, others are relative to where the camera is facing, and some others even are relative to where the enemies are as opposed to Nina, which is really awkward as is. But then it is also a game with Resident Evil cinematic camera angles that can move and cut and obfuscate during combat quite fucking profusely. And that is a fuck of a whole lot to trip up your brain over when all you have is these mere untactile analog stick flicks in any which direction depending on all of the above. I'd say that adding a lock-on could have maybe fixed it a bit, as it does in many 3D beat-em-ups, but it actually does have a soft lock-on into trajectories between Nina and her enemies, but that really only makes things worse as that messes with where and how you walk, and so you end up going to or hitting in a direction that's very much not what you were analog sticking towards, and the moment that all that happens, the camera angle may have also already switched upon you, and all of this just compounds in the fact that this ain't a very easy fucking game neither. Dudes can spawn in by the dozens and do dozens of doodly damages, dying upon which, setting one back to the last save point, which, at least by my modern gamely standards, always feels a smidge too far away. Thank fucking God, though, that after dying a couple of times and starting to feel that slow regret of, I don't know if I can push on with this video setting in, I unlocked beginner mode. And yeah, is it still fiddly? Sure. Do I care? Fuck no. I'm blowing past bitches like they're nothing now. Battering ram, high heels, pile drives into faces, health bars demolished, no longer chipping shit. Dude volumes overall decreased as well, which makes the kinda annoying locked into trajectories but not realiness a whole lot less of a pain in the ass too, and to its credit, it has a very vast RPG unlock move list leveling system, so as shit goes on, combat becomes more involved in general. Not sure how one's supposed to pull off moves this precise while haplessly flailing sticks, but on the off chances of doing something on accident, as you will, it will make stuff at least look flashier. Doesn't mean that it won't still have one of the most frustrating boss fights you'll ever see though. Motherfucker kept stun locking me with nothing I could do to escape it as he blocked my every fucking move. The move here is that you're supposed to knock him into the spikes, which requires attacking him from and in specific positions, but good luck fucking doing any of that with these fuckshit ass controls. It is genuinely heinous, and I hated it, but I suppose the others aren't as bad. And at least easy mode neutralizes the jobbers to a mostly serviceable level outside of these guys who are, I think, supposed to be fast, but it just kind of looks like your every move phases right through them. Yeah, I mean, the combat just kind of sucks shit, to be honest.
What a thrill.
Now the story though, it's about MI6 and the CIA telling Nina to go kill some terrorists on a boat, and then she goes and kills some terrorists on a boat. Naturally, it plays with the mysterioso qualities of its Bermusi triang and what the terrorists want with it, but the cast does firmly remain rather middle market PS2 gaming. I.e. funny tropes with flashy designs, but they won't really make you feel any emotions other than, okay. As most cutscenes is mega brief, thus there not being a whole lot of room for development on anyone's or anything's part. Guess I was kinda hoping there'd be PS2 penis acting, but what voice acting is there is all just very decently competent, so it's hard to make fun of. But if there is anything about it I do very much enjoy narratively, is how long it takes for the plot to become a Tekken game. I mean, at first, aside from you being Nina, there's nothing about the world or situation that refers to the Tekken universe. No Zaibatsu, Devil Gene, Forces, Anna, or lexicons or terms aside from some posters of the games, which, maybe that's supposed to be for the in-universe tournaments? I don't know. Really though, it's very much its own thing, until... It's Daddy! I'll spoil where it goes, as forgetting Degrees is Tekkenese made certain reveals a lot more fun to me, and there's cute ways it ties into the lore too that are fun to behold if you're into the Tekken storylines, as I am. Also, as a related aside, I find the marketing for this to be very interesting. I hinted at the calendar earlier, which is almost like this Nina Williams dorm room booby calendar, and with the whole starring Nina Williams thing, and having her jumping around dual-wielding guns in skimpy outfits, I kind of feel as if they maybe wanted to push her to be a new sort of Lara Croft, which I'm all for, honestly. I mean, who knows how out the Tekken lore could have gotten in a universe where this shit took the fuck off. I mean, this is already the type of game where when you have to do a Code Veronica style leave your metal items in the box to progress further thing, Nina has to strip all the way down for reasons not entirely explained. Oh, I feel like I can guess. Sadly, I do feel it pretty obvious as to why this didn't take off. I mean, the pacing's great. There's so many Wii set pieces. The areas, as I said, loop around and guide you very cleverly. I never felt lost, nor did I feel as if I was obviously breadcrumbed either. The atmosphere is excellent, and I quite like the frequent changes in environment, kind of reminding me of RE4 in a sense, with it taking place in one general zone, but constantly, linearly, opening up to further and further wackier shit, and before you know it, you're fighting robots in caves and zombies in the snow, all from just starting off on a Wii cruise ship mystery. It's a really fun and well-paced adventure game that also just happens to be a total dick and balls butterfuck batshit bullshit beat-em-up that fucking sucks. Truthfully, there's parts of the combat I kinda enjoy on easy, and again, it looks pretty and flashy and fluid, but the angles and analogs combo is just immensely frustrating at worst and underwhelmingly awkward at best. But hey, something, so I've been playing intro. Welcome to So I've Been Playing, the show where I talk about games and experiences I have experienced that I wasn't able to make fully fledged videos out of or repurpose otherwise. Cause, remember when I tried playing Tekken 3 Special on Mi Mista, but it went all like, well, I got it to work this time, and let me tell ya, it sure is special. Cause it is a Mega Drive bootleg cartridge Tekken game. Maybe made by the Taiwanese developer GameTech, but no one seems to know for sure. That due to the Genesis controller plays a whole lot more like Virtua Fighter than anything else. A very stiff 2D Virtua Fighter at that. The surprisingly good Tekken Advance this is not. Or Tekken 3 for that matter. You see, it appears to be based upon a other bootleg called Virtua Fighter 2 versus Tekken 2, which uses VF2's entire control scheme. Tekken moves though, Joshua is still out there stabbing himself, and a lot like the early Tekkens, the AI is also messed the fuck up, but as most of the footage will show, I soon developed my Technique of the Iron Fist, which worked out rather swimmingly. Anyway, the music I think is also primarily from Sega Fighters. I don't recognize all of it, but some of this I know from Fighting Vipers and Sonic the Fighters. Awkwardly filtered through the Mega Sys like this though, it sounds like fucking clown music or dueling banjos to me. It kind of stresses me out a little, to be honest. It's very overwhelming. Like, there's too many notes. Too many goddamn notes. Given the Seiichi Connect between the two twos, I do think it's fitting to do 2 and 2, 2, 3. Hell, it's so unlike T3 that the way the color palette uses green and white accents on a lot of the designs and the UI and logo reminds me a lot of how the original Tekken Tag arcade version used blue. Which, I guess, is based off of 3 too, just like how this 3 is based off of 2 twos. It's probably just a palette limitation thing here though, but something about the game using only a few hues of a color for all things of that color just looks really pleasing to me. And I also like how June is shaded as if she's wearing Minecraft diamond armor. Otherwise though, yeah, this is just VF2 versus Tekken 2, but only Tekken 2. 2 stages, sprites, character select, there's no 3 nothing. Which I'm cool with, as I secretly think 2 is kinda cooler looking anyway. I could easily gush and cum about its art style for an entire video, and to be honest, given that I never have, despite referring to it so frequently, maybe I should. In fact, I will. Cliffhanger, bitch. Next video, baby!